Yes.
Namaskar, Swamiji. I'm Shomir. I have a little bit offbeat question, and I've been, whole speech. I was trying to. I'm in the AI space, by the way, so I'm trying to compare that. How do you, superimpose that AI space with the Vedanta philosophy and all that, especially in the some of the areas you talked about, like consciousness and awareness, and then you're talking about also the AR, VR, artificial intelligence, and augmented reality. Like I'm here, I'm not there. So the question is, where do you draw the line? Today's AI is all sensor based, which our consciousness is all about. All the inputs coming from various for example, the autonomous vehicle and all that. It's all sensor based. Everything is sensor. Sensors continuously coming. It's making its own decision and taking the right path, whether I'm going to hit this guy or not, I'm going to crash this or not. But it's making the decision. Also, for example, the AI, AR, VR, artificial intelligence in the augmented reality, which is equivalent to I'm here, I'm not there, right? So that kind of thing. Like I'm trying to see if there is where do you draw the line between these two, or is it ever going to catch up with that the human power is going to be automatically transferred to the AI space or not? Where do you make this difference, and where do you draw the line? So,
Okay, I'll take up just one question from all of that. Where do you draw the line?
right.
And the line is
Thank you.
this consciousness, this awareness, this luminosity we're talking about. This, by the way, somebody pointed out to me, the OpenAI founder, Sam Altman, somebody asked him that, can you tell us something that you believe in which we are not aware of? And he said, Atman is Brahman. It's apparently it's there on his X Twitter feed. It's there. Anyway, so he is also a Vedanta fan. I don't know how much he studies, but he knows about it definitely. All right. What fascinates me about the whole AI thing is, notice, AI is doing a lot of things which we thought were limited only for human beings. For example, creativity. We thought computers, machines, robots will come and do all the, the physical work. And all the creative stuff, the human stuff will be for us. But here it's not doing we are left to do the physical work. And the AI is now taking over the creative work. So I saw in the the Museum of Modern Art in Manhattan, it's probably the biggest museum of modern art in the world. And when you enter it now, you will see a big screen where AI is generating art continuously. So what they have done is they have fed the entire contents of the Museum of Modern Art into the AI and asked it to generate similar stuff. It's haunting. Now you might say, is it art? From the AI's perspective, if you look at it, any artist will say, no, it's just a machine producing things based on algorithms. But if you look at it from the perspective of the viewer, the person who's coming and watching it, aren't you captivated by it? I was captivated. I have seen the whole bunch of people standing open mouthed looking at it. So it is having an effect on you. Suppose it was not told to you that it's made by an AI. You would think it's real art. Now that AI is generating images, AI is writing stories. I asked AI to do a story on Vivekananda, a poem on Vivekananda. It did it. Maybe it's not poet laureate stuff, but it's not bad either. It's like an intelligent school or college kid would write a good poem. So average, let's say. But then it did something no human poet can ever do. I asked it to write another poem. It did it within seconds. I asked it to write another poem. And if you do that to AI, it'll write different poems all day long. No poet can do that in the world. It will write stories for you. Yeah. So
and LLM also, that continuously regular conversation, any topic.
Yeah. So it can do that. Creativity. Then you also mentioned decision making. Recently, it's not even that level of AI, but I, for the first time, had experience of a completely self-driving car. So this gentleman in Toronto, he's bought the latest Tesla model. So the full self-drive mode, he put it there. I've sat in Teslas, but I never experienced that full self-drive mode. From the starting till the end of the destination, no touch. And once in a while you have to touch it, I think, because it's there's a warning to see if you're alert. But the car did everything. So now then now there are Google self-driving cars. Somebody told me they saw in Phoenix, in San Francisco, there are these cars, no driver, sometimes no passenger also. It's going along. So now, so all of this is there, and much more. And now it's already very widespread. Many people who are working in big companies, they tell me that each of their companies, they have their own pet AIs, in-house AIs, which have been trained for the work of that company and does extraordinary work. And these are all proprietary and secret, so they are not shared with others. So, all right. So it does all of this. Things which we thought till now are limited to human beings only. We thought, all right, cranes will lift big weights, calculators will calculate stuff, but creativity, decision making, all of these we will do as human beings. No, now it's the opposite. The human beings are not doing it. The AI is doing it. Except one thing. You asked drawing the line. Except one thing. They are not aware that luminosity is not there. You might ask, how do you know? Well, ask. He's an expert. You ask him. Have you programmed the AI to be conscious? You say, no. Why not? And they will answer, we don't know what consciousness is. We don't know where to start. We can make it, we can see, these are actually AI is not creative in the sense we are creative. What they are doing is they are simulating it. They're modeling creativity. But the effect is similar. They're modeling our decision making. When you are driving a car and the self-driving car pulls up along you, the difference is this. Not in the behavior. Maybe the self-driving car is driving better than you, maybe more precisely than you. But the difference is this. When you are driving, you have a feel for it. You are seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, making decisions in your mind. There's a continuous experience of driving going on within you. There's nothing like that going on in that AI-driven car. All decisions are being made. Every action is being made. But there's no inner feeling of driving inside. It's a machine. Very complex machine, very sophisticated machine. Sophisticated to the extent that experts also say now we don't know what's going on within it. Yes.
So this sentimental analysis also the more understand. No, but sentimental analysis, like you said, like past few sense.
Yes. But remember, touch, feel, sense are sensors, but they will reproduce your behavior, but they will not reproduce your inner feeling. So when the usher is opening the door, usher has an experience of seeing somebody coming, opening the door, letting you in. But when you go to the airport, there's a simple sensor on the door. When you approach it, the sensor opens the door. This usher has a first-person experience all the time, a living experience within. That little sensor in that door in the airport does not have any experience with it. It's mechanically opening the door, sensing your presence. So when we're using these words, we have to be careful. Sensing. Seeing. You're seeing. I am seeing. But the camera, which is there, is not seeing in the sense the two of us are seeing. There's no inner first-person experience. So this is the line. And my question here is this. I think it's an important question. Why not? Why is it so difficult to model consciousness? I would say decision-making, creativity are much more complex things. Consciousness does only one thing. First-person experience. Anubhava. That's what consciousness does. But why is it so difficult to model? Why is it not only they have no idea where to start? Why? My answer, and the answer from Vedanta and Sankhya and all, is that it is fundamentally different from mind. You're now able to model the mind, but you're not modeling consciousness. This is the dividing line.